Welcome to Azeroth United, a weekly podcast about World of Warcraft. My name is Denethar, and I am your host.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. It's Tuesday night in Azeroth, and we have a great show lined up for you. It's Patch Day. Happy Patch Day! That's right. Patch 12.0.1 is now making its way onto servers. Servers aren't up quite as of yet, as I'm recording this, but no doubt by the time you listen, servers will be up, and you'll already be running around playing on your new Devourer Demon Hunter or whatever it is that you have going on in the midnight pre-patch. So, yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun, I hope. It's the end of an era, the War Within closing its doors, sadly. I don't know if you could really call it an era. It's only an 18-month expansion. The War Within, the shortest expansion for WoW that we've ever had, at least in modern or retail WoW. Some of the classic ones have been shorter, but yeah, you get what I'm saying. War Within, really short. Part of the World Soul Saga, though, so I think that's a little bit of the appeal, is that, you know, we're getting through the story pretty quickly, and we're not trying to dilly-dally and spend a bunch of time hanging out in a certain raid, or just, you know, let's make up an extra fourth season for no reason. We're not doing that. It's all business. We're getting through it, and here we go, moving on to the next. So yeah, it's an exciting time and exciting day. So I hope you all enjoy. So yeah, here we go. Before I get to the news, I will do a quick rundown of what I did last week in WoW. Most of what I did was preparation for the pre-patch here, getting my characters set up, putting them in the correct locations, making sure that nobody logged off in some bizarre, like, why am I in a cave in Silithus? This is not working for me. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, so there was a lot of preparation. I did go through and do my big finale on Remix, and we'll talk about some of the reactions to the end of Remix here in a bit. I missed out on the Scythe of the Unmaker and Tayshalak on one of my two accounts. I have two accounts. It's my own fault, so I have nobody to blame but me. But so I got them on one account, which is cool. That's the account where Denethar, my Death Knight, is located. So I'm at least happy about that. But my other account, I didn't get the polearm, and I didn't get the sword and whatever it is. So the way that they designed it, so you get the drops from the end boss, from the second to last boss, and the final boss in Entorus. So I did the entire raid on Heroic a couple of weeks ago, and then I did it again the last night of Remix. I was like, oh, I need to get more, and I realized, oh, Heroic only gives me 4. So I was like, okay, let me go do Mythic. So I did Mythic. Mythic gives you 10. So now I have 18. You need 20 to buy the Transmog. So I was like, normal must give you 2. It's got to give you 2. So I did normal. Normal gives you 1. I ended with 19. I was so pissed. But again, it's my own fault for being a dum-dum. So what are you going to do? And that's okay. Stuff like that, yeah, it stinks. But at the end of the day, am I going to use that as Transmog? Probably not. Honestly, I'm probably not going to use it. So I just have to smile and go, well, you know, I had fun, and that's all I can do it. And like I said, we'll talk about the ending of Legion Remix here in a little bit. And of course, housing. I've always got to spend my time in housing. I finalized my staircase in my one house, and I've got stairs going up and around, and a big platform going around outside, and all the rooms upstairs. It looks really cool. I'm still got a video that I'm working on. I've been taking little screenshots and whatnot, but I'm going to do like a full walkthrough video and put that on the Discord server. You can get to the Discord by going to AzerothUnitedPod.com. Yeah, so that's basically what I did in retail. In Classic, first week of the Burning Crusade pre-patch, so I did, and leveling is so much faster once you get to, and it's all relative, right? It's fast compared to Classic, but it's not fast compared to the War Within. But I am leveling much faster. So the Druid 35, Paladin 44, whatever. I'll get them close to 60. I might not get all the way there, but I have 2 60s already, and I feel like that's enough. I'm not going to boost. I'm not in that much of a hurry to not raid. You know, if I was on a raiding team and they're like, we really need you to play a shaman, I'd be like, okay, I'll boost a shaman. But I'm not, so I won't. So yeah, and then I took my warrior into Alterac Valley to try and farm a little bit of honor. And So we got into Alterac Valley, and the first one that I did, it was fine. It was really quick. Everybody just ran to the opposite ends of the map and tried to kill the opponent's commander as fast as possible. Alliance won that one, so that was good. I did another one, and the Horde was going through and backcapping and killing everybody, picking them off one by one. So all the Alliance ended up stuck in our starting area, and the Horde just slowly pushed us back and pushed us back and pushed us back. And I was like, this is ridiculous. You're getting 2 honor per kill. No, this is a waste of time. So I just left. I was like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. So I AFK'd out, and that was the last battleground I did. So maybe I'll get some more in. I don't know. But for me, honestly, it's not that important. I'll replace that gear by 70. So maybe my leveling experience will be a little harder because I don't have good gear. Boo-hoo. What am I going to do? So, yeah. And so that's pretty much. Classic has been very chill for me since the pre-patch started, and that's just the way I like it. I like to just kind of sit and live in those moments. Speaking of which, I had the opportunity to guest host on Solo Queue, a WoW podcast with the great Dave Gagne. I had a great time on there. Dave is a great guy. He's a very generous host. He gave me a lot of opportunities to sound smart or to sound funny or whatever it is. And he's really good at what he does. I did a little bit of an interview too, but mostly it was I co-hosted with him, and it was a really fun time. And I'm hoping that I can have Dave back on Azeroth United and kind of do the same thing with him. Maybe do a little bit of a back and forth or something. So if you haven't checked out Solo Queue, I would definitely recommend checking it out. It's a fantastic podcast about World of Warcraft and about playing solo. A lot of it is his adventures as a solo player, but some of it is just talking about the game and his experiences and things like that. So it's a great podcast. He's a really, really interesting person, and I could just sit and listen to him talk about World of Warcraft for hours. So yeah, check out Solo Queue. I will put the link to his show from, I guess, like Spotify or Apple Podcasts or whatever. And he just opened up his Discord server. So if you're looking for a cool Discord server to hang out in and you don't want to be in Azeroth United, or maybe you want to be in both, it's up to you. But you can check out the Solo Queue Discord server. That's over there as well. So, all right. Yeah, that was fun, man. I had such a good time, and Dave is such a great guy. Can't wait to see him at BlizzCon. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be the old folks reunion. All the 40s and 50-year-olds are gonna be hanging out together. So it'll be fun. Right. So anyway, that's pretty much all I got up to last week. Yeah, doing the podcast with Dave was a lot of fun, and yeah, there you go. So check it out, and I hope you enjoy it. All right. Before we get to the news, one other thing that I want to do is the forum post of the week. So if you were on Reddit or the WoW forums or really anywhere, Twitter, anything like that, yesterday, or I guess it was yesterday, yeah, on January 19th, there was a lot of drama regarding the end of Legion Remix. So what happened was, the in-game calendar had a time that was essentially 10 a.m. Pacific time, which for me would be 1 p.m. Eastern time. My in-game calendar actually said 12 p.m. Central time. So whatever. It's all the same time. Well, it didn't end then. It ended at 7 a.m. Pacific time. And people were pissed, including my good friend Dave, who didn't get to spend any of his bronze because he thought he had more time. But yeah, people took to the forums with great vengeance and furious anger to report what they had seen happen. I'll just read a couple of them to you because they're good. The calendar had an end time of 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Legion Remix, but instead it ended at reset, losing all players their bronze and ability to buy housing, objects, mog, mounts, etc. This is garbage and no way to treat your loyal players base that have dedicated time to this event. Do better. Okay. I was farming out a few last minute things and hadn't got a chance to spend out my remaining bronze. The main thing I missed was the class mounts. They ended up not having time to level. Regardless, will I have an in-game calendar event if it's inaccurate? I know Blizzard's communication has absolutely nosedived over the years, but this takes it to a whole new level. No blue post or blog post with a specific end time, just an inaccurate calendar event. Great. What a fantastic way to kick off midnight. Agreed. This one says, so instead of 1 p.m. as noted on your calendar, it ejected everyone to Stormwind at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Why end it hours earlier than scheduled? It was already ending before Tuesday rollout. Seriously, I am so mad because I was almost done with what I needed to get rewards, and I had a ton of bronze I needed to spend. And before any of you say, well, you had time, I did not. I had medical issues that prevented me from being able to enjoy Lemix until the last minute. This is just so wrong. Right. Yeah, people were frustrated. People were upset, and I don't blame them. I actually had the same thought because, like I said earlier, I was one item short of being able to buy the Scythe of the Unmaker and the Tayshalak. And so I thought, oh, well, if the event ends at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, that means I have one more reset, albeit a short one, to run the raids again. I did think it was a little odd that we got a 3-hour after reset timer, but I thought, well, you know what? That's what's on the calendar. So, and I even, when it was on the Solo Queue podcast, we talked about this, and I said 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Pacific time, which is what it said on the calendar. So, yeah, people were upset. One person actually got a response from a GM, or at least they claim to have. I don't know if this is accurate, but they said, the response said, I am Game Master Teshamara. We received some reports and questions regarding the Legion Remix end time. The Legion Remix did not end early. It ended at the intended time. That's such a Gandalf move. The Legion Remix did not end early, nor did it end late. It ended precisely when it intended to. I don't know. It ended at the intended time, which was January 19th at 3 p.m. UTC and January 19th at 7 a.m. PT, or Pacific time. There was also a countdown on the character select screen that was showing the correct time and time remaining. Some players were referring to the in-game calendar. That time was wrong, and the calendar is not a reliable source when it comes to these kind of events and information. Reliable spelled wrong, which is why I was like, maybe this isn't accurate, because since when does AI spell things wrong? We verified that the time was correct internally. Customer support and the Game Master team is not able to provide any kind of compensation, and we are not able to add or unlock mounts, pets, toys, achievements, or quests that were missed or haven't been bought or learned yet. I'm really sorry and can only advise for the future to not do these things last minute and as early as possible. Still, I hope you have a great day and I wish you all the best. Again, that's not something a GM would say. They'd just be like, tough shit. Yeah, that sucks. That whole thing sucks. I don't even know what to say. I think if you're going to have an in-game calendar, it needs to be accurate. And one thing that they need to do, and this is just my suggestion, Blizzard, if you're listening, I'm giving you this advice for free. If you're going to have times in the calendar, in-game, make those times local to the player's time zone. Don't make them server times. What is the point of that? Or make everything Pacific time, because you love to do things at Pacific time. Fine. Make it all Pacific time for North America and Oceania. Or make them all UTC for the European servers. Whatever. I don't care. Just pick a time, make them all the same, and make them accurate. How hard is that? I mean, seriously, you have the times in there. Somebody's going in and entering the times. 7 p.m. Pacific time. Somebody's doing that. Somebody is typing that in. I know the Dark Moon Fair every month starts and ends at 2 a.m. is the starting date and 1:59 a.m. the ending time. Why does it do that? That makes no sense. If you want it to start and end at midnight and 11:59, okay, fine. Put that. Don't have it be the time for wherever the server is located. That doesn't help anyone. So pick a time zone and say, this is now the standard time for WoW. And just use that. We'll adjust as players. People can write add-ons if we know. But if we're guessing what time zone our server is in, come on. That's ridiculous. Just put the time that, and we can all agree on it. And then, yeah, the add-ons can fix it. But don't put the times if they're wrong. That's a rookie move. And I get it. This is your first MMO, Blizzard. I understand. It's easy to make mistakes when it's your first time. But do better. As one poster said. Oh man, that sucks. Yeah, that's I guess that's how it goes. But yeah, I'm very sorry to all the people that didn't get to spend their bronze. And I hope that Blizzard takes a little bit of a lesson from this, but I doubt that they will. So, all right, on to the news.
It's time for the news.
In Blizzard news, so to start things off with, we're going to go with the new Twitch drop that Blizzard has announced. Blizzard has made available the Cuddly Green Gurgle housing decor item. It's a stuffed Murloc that you can have in your house, and it's really cute. And all you have to do is, you know the drill, watch 4 hours of Twitch streaming on Twitch, of World of Warcraft streams on Twitch from January 20th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Thank you for giving us the time and time zone. I hope that's accurate, Blizzard. And it ends on February 17th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So we'll see if that's true. Yeah, so watch 4 hours of World of Warcraft content on Twitch, and you will get the Cuddly Green Gurgle housing decor item. And since housing decor items require multiples to place multiples, let's say you want 20 stuffed animals. Well, it says players who have claimed this new item from the Twitch drop will also be able to visit Denia Silvertongue in Silvermoon City to purchase more copies of this adorable item after the launch of Midnight on March 2nd. So there you go. New Twitch drop. The hardest thing here is to link your Twitch account and your Battle.net account together so that you can get credit for your Twitch watching on your Battle.net account. If you haven't done it yet, and I highly suggest you do, I will put a link in the show notes as to how to do it, or you can just Google it if you don't want to read the show notes. If you're like, I don't read show notes are dumb, they're for losers, fine, don't read the show notes, but Google it, or don't get the drop if you don't want it. That's fine. I'm not telling you what to do, but if you do want it and you're not sure how to do it, you can check it out in the show notes, or you can Google link Twitch account to Battle.net account. It's like the first option. So there you go. That's the new Twitch drop, the Cuddly Green Gurgle housing decor item. It's a stuffed, cute Murloc toy decoration thing. So there you go. All right, let's move on to Classic. So I normally don't like to do hot fixes because I feel like it gets a little too tedious, and then I just end up reading a bunch of hot fixes, which is not very entertaining podcast. However, there were a few things in TBC Anniversary that did not work correctly, and I wanted to point these out. One of them is that Upper Blackrock Spire was only allowing 5 players to enter, which you need more than 5. I mean, you could do it with 5, but it's better with 10, which is what it should be. And this wasn't just Upper Blackrock Spire, it was lower as well. Although lower, you can do it with 5 pretty easily. So they fixed that. Great. They fixed a bug preventing the quest the first and the last from starting for eligible players. Again, not a huge deal, but it's great that they fixed that. I really feel bad for Blizzard because this is only their 3rd time launching the Burning Crusade, so it sucks. This is hard. How are they supposed to know how to do this? They cleansed the Songflower, or the cleansed Songflowers now apply their buff to the clicking player, not the player's target. Oops. Paladins should now be able to learn Consecration from their trainer as intended. So if you're not familiar, Consecration was moved from the Holy Tree to be a baseline spell in Burning Crusade. So every Paladin gets Consecrate regardless of what they are, which means that tanks no longer have to spend their first 11 points in Holy to be able to tank, which is great. So yeah, they fixed that. So what happened was, if you hadn't learned Consecration yet, you were fine. You could just go get it from your trainer. If you already had it, I think that's what it was. and you already had it, then you couldn't learn it, and you didn't have it. Something, I don't know. My paladin had it, so it wasn't a big deal for me, but some people were struggling with that. Shamans who are unable to learn two-handed maces and two-handed axes from the weapon trainer should again be able to. Again, this is something that was in the enhancement tree, and they removed it and made it a baseline ability. Every shaman can now use a two-handed mace or a two-handed axe, which is great. But they couldn't learn it because of reasons. And the developers know here is players may need to log out and back in to pick up this fix. Yeah, reboot it and see what happens. And finally, the great fix. Oh, this is a good one. Player versus player. The current active increased honor gains is now 150%. Was a 100% bonus. Added levels 51 to 60 versions of the For Great Honor Horde and concerted effort alliance quests. Developers notes, soon after launching the Burning Crusade pre-expansion patch, we could see that PvP needed an additional increase in rate of gearing. These quests do award 400 honor at level 60 when handed in, as well as the experience for players from level 51 to 59. These quests do not require Eye of the Storm, and their text will soon be updated to reflect that, because it does ask you for that, or at least it did ask you for that mark. When the Dark Portal opens, these quests will no longer be available, and the level 61 to 70 versions of these quests will become available. So, yeah, it was kind of a mess there. But the reason that they did all this is because they said they were going to lower the cost of the PvP, the High Warlord Grand Marshal gear that was available from the vendors. They said they were going to lower the cost. And then they decided, no, we're not going to lower the cost because we don't want people who have already purchased it at the higher rate to be upset that it's now available for cheaper. It's like if you buy something full price and then the next day it goes on sale, you feel pretty lousy about that. So their solution was just to increase the amount of honor that we're getting. So it's still expensive as hell, but you're not going to get more honor. So, which to me, that's a problem because you're not getting any honor if you go into Alterac Valley and it's a giant turtle. So, but yeah, if you're PvPing anyway, and I saw somewhere that there was like, it took like 40 hours of in-game time to earn the entire set, which I'm sorry, I don't have that kind of time. I don't have that kind of energy. I don't have that desire for that. So yeah, but if you are farming for your High Warlord or Grand Marshal gear, then it should be a little bit easier. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Okay. In Modern WoW, let's move on because we've got a couple things here. First one is Blizzard. So they didn't announce this. This was data mined by Wowhead and whoever. So this was never an announcement from Blizzard, so they don't owe us an explanation. So at some point along the way, they put in for plus 18 Keystone, or they added rewards in increasing Keystones, and if you got a plus 18 Keystone completed, you would get a 4 out of 6 myth piece or in your Great Vault. So in other words, right now in the War Within, the highest you can get from your Great Vault for doing Mythic Plus is 1 out of 6 or 1 out of 8 myth track. So this reward was added in and it scaled up. So if you did, I forget what the numbers were. It was like if you do a 13, you're going to get 2 out of 6. And if you do a 15, you'll get 3 out of 6 or whatever. 4 out of 6 was the highest you could go. And so people decided, okay, 18 is going to be the new standard. Everyone has to do 18s, which is ridiculous because while a lot of people can do 18s, it's a tremendous amount of work. And you don't want to pug that. You need a group. You could pug it, yeah, but why would you want to put yourself through that misery? So, yeah, Blizzard reverted that change. They took it off, and the scaling now stops at a 10 Keystone, where you get Myth 1 out of 6, which is item level 272. So, yeah, people are kind of frustrated, but also relieved maybe that they don't feel pressured to run 18 Keystones or a plus 18 Keystone. I'm not going to do that, even if I feel like I should. I'm not going to do it. It's too much work and I don't have a group. But yeah, a lot of people felt that pressure of, oh my gosh, I have to do this now. And that doesn't feel good. So that kind of forced FOMO onto the player base by themselves, but still. So yeah, that was kind of an interesting thing. So it's off now. And now that we're in pre-patch, I'm assuming it's not coming back. I think they realized that was probably not what they wanted to do. So, all right. Final thing. there is a new Mythic Plus affix, and I'm going to read this one because I want it to be very clear what it is we're talking about here. Greetings! In this week's beta build, we're introducing a new Mythic Plus affix designed to support players who are learning dungeon routing. Lindormi's guidance: when Midnight Season 1 begins, this affix will be active in Mythic levels 2 through 5. While Lindormi's guidance is active, certain non-boss enemies will be afflicted with temporal sands, visually highlighting them and reducing their health and damage done by 5%. Defeating these marked enemies will fulfill 100% of the enemy force's count, providing a basic route through the dungeon. Additionally, the affix also prevents player deaths from reducing the timer. Our goal with Lindormi's guidance is to help players learn a reliable dungeon route while they're still getting comfortable with the seasonal dungeons. We also hope this affix makes it easier for groups to align on a route in the early levels of Mythic Plus. These routes are not intended to be optimal for higher-end play. Instead, they're meant to serve as a foundation for groups learning the dungeons before pushing deeper into Mythic Plus. Additionally, to support this new affix, we'll also be shifting the starting point of the Xal'atath's bargain affixes one level deeper into the system from Mythic Plus level 4 to Mythic Plus level 5. We'd appreciate feedback on how well Lindormi's guidance supports players as they learn new Mythic Plus dungeons. This is brilliant. Bravo, Blizzard. Bravo. This is exactly the type of thing we need. Let's teach people how to do this game mode in a non-threatening way. Don't force people to go onto some random website where they've got to plan a route. Well, this got to kill this group of 2 and then this group of 3, but then you have to go over here and get this one guy. And why has that been normalized as part of the game? This is great. This is a great way to do it. Teaches players early on how to do this. It's a good on-ramp, and this is one of the things I've always complained about with Mythic Plus is that when they changed all the levels for Mythic Plus, they didn't include an on-ramp. Now there's an on-ramp. Not only does it show you the route to go, it makes it a little bit easier for you, and as long as you kill all of these marked enemies, you're going to get 100% guaranteed. That's exactly what I want to have happen. And you don't reduce the timer when you die, which is one of the biggest things. Is somebody dies because they made a mistake. Now everyone's pissed. We're not going to time it now. No, it'll be fine. And the Xal'atath's bargain affix, which started at 4, is now going to start at 5, which means that this affix, which goes from 2 to 5, if you go to the max level of it, which is 5, you'll also have the new Xal'atath affix, kind of a training net. Like, all right, let's add a little bit more complexity to this, which I think is great. So this is a really good move by Blizzard. I'm really happy with this. I'm sure some people are like, why are they wasting time with this? People are doing 18s anyway. But no, this is great. I'm really happy with this. This is encouraging me. It's making me want to actually go do Mythic Plus in Midnight. So I'm hoping against hope that that's actually the case and that Mythic Plus is fun again. But we'll see. I will definitely be checking this out on launch, or when the season starts. So there you go. All right, let's move on to what's going on this week in World of Warcraft. The bonus event for the week is the World Quest bonus event. You're going to get the Sign of the Emissary buff. Reputations gained from World Quests increased by 50%. And you can pick up the quest The World Awaits from Archivist for Thrune and Dornogal to complete 10 World Quests in Khazalgar, and you'll be rewarded with 2,500 reputation with the faction of your choice. So if you have not maxed out all your reputations, definitely do this, because you don't want to end the expansion and have that one reputation that's still revered and you're like, ugh. Yeah, I hate reputation grinds, but if that's what you want to do, make sure you do it. The bonus event for the week the time walking bonus event for the week, because we're still in turbulent timeways, is Battle for Azeroth time walking. So you're going to get the Sign of Azeroth buff. Battle for Azeroth reputations gains from combat and quest increased by 50%. And you can pick up the quest A Scarred Path Through Time from Archivist for Thrune and Dornogal to defeat 5 time walking dungeons, and you will be rewarded with a hero track raid item. Also, if you have not completed your Mastery of the Timeways, make sure you do this. I think there's 2 more weeks after this. Two more weeks. So I already missed my chance because I didn't do last week. So I'm done. But this is a really good way to get some gear for your alts. Like maybe you got some alts that you're leveling up. And the pre-patch event has not started yet, so you could run Battle for Azeroth Time Walking. The dungeons are Atal Dazar, Freehold, King's Rest, Shrine of the Storm, Temple of Sethralis, and Waycrest Manor. So there you go. That's the Turbulent Timeways bonus event Time Walking for the week. The PvP Brawl is Shadowpan Showdown. Step into Tiger's Peak Arena and get ready for the Shadowpan Showdown. You'll race for control of a center control point to activate one of two bosses. The first to kill the other team's boss wins. Yay! Yeah, whatever. When you zone in, you'll get the quest Something Different to win a PvP Brawl, and you'll be rewarded with Conquest Honor and Marks of Honor. So this one's at least different. It's in the arena map instead of a battleground. I'm okay with that. That's fine. Let's go. Let's fight. And finally, the last item here on the schedule is the Call of the Scarab event. On this date, the Scarab Gong was rung, opening the gates of Ahn'Qiraj. Represent your faction by gathering supplies or by slaying Twilight and Qiraji forces. The winning faction gets to fly their banner next to the Scarab Gong for the rest of the year. This starts on January 21st and it ends on January 23rd. If you haven't done this before, you basically go to Silithus and you're going to get a max level version of the zone, and you have to get supplies or kill the baddies there, and you'll get tokens, and you exchange those tokens. You can get a mount that is a limited time high res version of the original Ahn'Qiraj mounts, which is really cool. I think there's a red one and a blue one. And then you'll also get credit for your factions if you're there on your Alliance character or your Horde character or whatever. I don't know who's winning this. Somebody's the reigning champion of this, and I don't know. I guess I have a 50-50 chance of getting it right. But there you go. Call of the Scarab event out in Silithus. Go check it out if you're looking for something to do on pre-patch week. Because let's not forget, this being the first week of pre-patch is going to be a lot of getting things ready, learning how your class plays because of all the changes, making sure that your combat assists add-on works or whatever the Blizzard built-in UI thing is. We'll get into all that. So if you want something to do that's not real content, like I don't want to do a dungeon, I don't want to do a delve, go out to Silithus, go kill some cultists. It'll make you feel good. All right, that's it for the news. Let's move on to our main topic of the week. And yeah, there you go.
It's time for the main topic of the week.
All right, it's here. Midnight pre-patch is on the servers now. Still not live as of this recording, but it will be live by the time you listen to it. So hope you're enjoying it and having a good time. There are a lot of changes that are going into the pre-patch, and so I wanted to go over everything that's coming in the pre-patch, and then we'll also talk about what's not coming in the pre-patch. So let's start with first of all, let's just take a moment to appreciate the fact that Blizzard gave us the big feature of this expansion early. Not in the pre-patch, in the last patch of the previous expansion. Player housing came at 11.2.7. That is like one of the main features of this expansion. Now, it's an evergreen feature. It's not something that's necessarily tied to Midnight, but it is part of the marketing for Midnight. Hey, this is coming. So, you should be ready for that. It's whatever. It felt a little weird to me that happened that way, but what they decided to do. So, all right, Midnight pre-patch. So all classes, all 39 existing specs are getting some sort of modification. Talents being moved, updating talents, moving abilities, pruning abilities. There's a lot of changes going on. I'm not going to go through all the changes. We'll be here all day. But a lot of classes are getting full reworks. Some classes are barely getting touched, like the Frost DK is getting a few new abilities, and that's it. So you're going to want to go through and, you're welcome to go through and figure it all out yourself. But if you check out the survival guides on Wowhead, they will tell you exactly what was removed, what was added, what was changed. And sometimes it's nice to at least know and have an idea before you dive into whatever it is you're doing. So I would recommend going onto Wowhead, checking that out, and seeing you put in your class and your spec and see what's changed. The abilities are the same. Your class is still going to play the same. It's not like, oh my gosh, they feel so different. It's still going to feel the same. They wanted to kind of go with a vibe for the classes. And if a class has a specific class fantasy that it's trying to achieve, they wanted to lean into that. So if you have more abilities that are very heavily into a certain class fantasy, that's what they're going to focus on. They're going to get rid of the stuff that you don't really need. So yes, some classes are going to feel a little weird at first, but over time, I think it's going to be good. And we definitely want to have a situation where people have choices, but they shouldn't have such a large volume of choice that it becomes overwhelming. So I think it's a balancing act that Blizzard has been trying to achieve. And honestly, they really shot themselves in the foot with the talents this time, or with the War Within, with the hero talents, because it's not just balancing 39 different specializations. You have 2 hero talents for each specialization. So, what is that, 78? That's a lot. That's a lot of adjustments and complexity that you have to consider when you're making changes to a class. So, yeah, it's hard. But, I feel like Blizzard has shown that they're willing to work with the players and learn how to do things and how to achieve what it is the players are looking for. So yeah, I'm excited. All right, so that's what's coming. Massive class changes. Every single class and spec getting a full change, or getting some change. There's also new hero talents that are going to be added. So the idea is you're going to get hero talents. You're going to get Apex talents on the class. You're going to get Apex talents on the specialization. Only the hero talents are available now. The Apex talents won't be available until midnight launch in March. But so you can choose your hero talents differently. You just won't be able to fill out your hero talent tree until you are max level. So be wise in how you choose your hero talents at level 80. Because you won't be able to spend you won't be able to fill out all your things. So, so that's what's going on. Not too big of a deal there, but it's part of the class update and changes that is going in. We're getting the new talents and the classes. As always, when you get into a pre-patch like this, the class feels a little incomplete because it's designed to be played at max level, not at 10 levels earlier. So yeah, some classes are going to feel a little weird, and that's okay. By and large, we're able to get through this no problem. And then we start leveling and nobody cares. But right now things are going to feel a little weird. Speaking of things feeling weird, Blizzard has been working very hard to kill combat add-ons. I did a whole episode on the add-on apocalypse, and it was very tongue-in-cheek with that title. But still, Blizzard is putting in a change that will disallow all combat add-ons from working. They're basically not going to let you access that information anymore during combat, or during an encounter, I should say. So basically, think like weak aura, deadly boss mods, plater, big wigs, anything like that. Those things are all going to be prevented from doing their normal business the way that they have been for however long. So it's going to be a big change. So what Blizzard has done to alleviate some of the strain on this is they're taking the actual complexity part out of the hands of the add-on authors, and they're keeping that themselves. That way they can control what information gets delivered to the players. So there are several new components that Blizzard have added to the game already, like the cooldown manager. We've got Blizzard already had nameplates in the games. They're just adjusting them. They're just modifying them. The assisted highlight and the single button assistant. Those have all already been added to the game. Blizzard is going to continue to iterate on those and make them better over time. And like for example, the cooldown manager will be able to show you more information. It'll be able to play sounds. It'll be able to do things in a way that makes more sense. It's a little closer to doing your weak auras. It's not quite weak auras, but it's at least closer to that. It's at least closer to that direction. The assist to highlight, I feel like works pretty well as is out of the box. It just shows you what your next spell should be. It's not perfect, but I think long term a good adjustment for the assist to highlight is the ability to go in and customize your rotation yourself. But we'll get to that down the road. Some new features that Blizzard is adding in to the default UI. We're getting a damage meter that basically works very similarly to details, although not quite as good. But again, this is something that Blizzard can work on and iterate over time, and so it'll get better. And then a boss timelines component, which is basically think bigwigs or DBM, and it's going to show you what the boss's next big move is going to be and when this cooldown is coming up and all that sort of thing. So, and it's done in a way that Blizzard can control the information that's getting presented, so they don't have to worry about building a boss encounter that can be solved, air quotes, solved by weak auras. So yeah, I think this is a good thing. The add-ons that are not going away, they're going to pivot to instead presenting information in a different way. So the information is coming from Blizzard, and add-on authors are going to be able to take that information and move it around and do things with it to make it more player friendly. Or at least give players options for how to have that information presented. Because right now, it's got one way. Here's how you do it. And it doesn't always work. So, for example, your raid frames will show you incoming heals. Well, maybe you want it presented a little bit differently. So an add-on will be able to do that. It'll be able to take the information that Blizzard is providing. It can't determine the information for itself. It can only read information that Blizzard is giving it. But it can present it in a nice and pretty way. Move it around, make it bigger, make it smaller, whatever it is you want to do with that information, but you can't change the information that's being given to you. That is being limited by Blizzard. And that's really the core of the add-on apocalypse, is that these add-ons aren't going away. Weak auras is going away because they don't want to do that. They don't want to be just a button decal add-on. They want to be able to go in and make those complex decisions. So no more weak auras, but the rest of them, Plater, Deadly Boss mods, a lot of these add-ons are going to be working in just a different way. So one of the things that, and this was, Wowhead put this together, and I thought it was actually really good. I wanted to read it specifically. For nameplates, here are the things that you will be able to do with your nameplates and the things that you will not be able to do with your nameplates. So it says, general size, scale, settings. Okay, you can make things bigger or smaller. Fine. Detailed health settings, including percentages and values. Okay, so you get the numbers and you can display them in different ways. I want to see how much health there is. I want to see what percentage of health they're at. I want to see how much health they have remaining, whatever it is. 6 different nameplate styles to choose from. Cool, give us a little bit of variety. Detailed cast bar information, including icons, names, and more. That's really good if you recognize icons. If you don't, I feel like the icons just get in the way. But that's good. Aggro display for all roles, so show some sort of a color when you get aggro or lose aggro on a mob. Features not available. This is what you can't do. Text cannot be moved outside of style options. Okay, that makes sense. You can't position the text wherever you want it. Fine. No custom font options. Okay. No color customizations without the use of add-ons. Right, exactly. Blizzard's are going to be default colors. Buff and debuff locations cannot be moved, which, again, fine. That's weird, but okay. And no display options for targeting NPCs or mobs, which, okay, fine. So, yes, add-ons are going to be a little weird. Combat is going to be a little weird. I'm curious to see how Manaforge Omega goes this week, if anyone's brave enough to try it, because I think it's probably going to be bad. Just saying. We get so used to the weak auras and all these add-ons, and so to suddenly take that away, and it's not suddenly like, oh my god, I didn't know this was happening. Suddenly, as in everything's going away at once. And so, yeah, there's no drip feed of add-ons being removed one at a time. No, they're all going away. all the combat add-ons, all the computational add-ons, gone. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with this and what breaks, because things are going to break, and what doesn't break. Some stuff's probably going to work just fine, and that'll be cool too. So we'll see. All right, let's move on because I could go on this add-on thing for a while. Devourer Demon Hunter. So there's a new Demon Hunter specialization, Devourer. So traditionally, Demon Hunter had two specs. There was Havoc and there was Vengeance. Havoc being the DPS, melee DPS, and Vengeance being a tank. So they've added a new spec, which is Devourer Demon Hunter. This is an intellect-based mid-range caster spec. Okay, so wrap your brain around that. Think like Evoker, where it's like a 25-yard range, roughly. So you're still going to move like a Demon Hunter, but you're going to cast spells and attacks. You're going to channel beams. Your gear is all going to be int-based. So yeah, it's going to be a little weird, but I'm really interested to try this. I did check it out very quickly on the PTR, but I did not get a chance to really do anything other than attack a target dummy. So this looks cool. I really like it. I think we need more int-based classes. So yeah, this is great. I'm hoping that it doesn't get too complex, because one of the things I've seen is that it starts slow and then it ramps up really fast because you have to do things in a certain order or your DPS is going to stink, because there's a very large focus on your Void Metamorphosis form. You basically don't do a whole lot of damage without that. And so your whole goal is to build yourself back into your Void Metamorphosis form. So I'm curious to see how that goes. In lieu of getting a new class, this expansion, we get a new spec for an existing class. So it's not really great. We are getting a new race, but that's not going to be here till the launch of Midnight. So the Devourer Demon Hunter, you could make it right now. You don't have to unlock it. It's just available. You could just choose that as a spec right now on your Demon Hunter. Although if you don't have any int gear, it's probably going to be bad. So most of the leather gear should have intellect on it, but your weapons won't, and trinkets and things like that. So you'll just have to get all that set up. So yeah, Devourer Demon Hunter is now available on the pre-patch. So pretty cool. In addition, for Demon Hunters, you have a new race that can be a Demon Hunter. So Demon Hunters, very famously, only Night Elves and Blood Elves could be Demon Hunters. And now that we are having basically Void Demon Hunter, it makes sense to have Void Elves be Demon Hunters. Now, of course, this is creating a lot of complaints of favoritism, alliance favoritism. Why does Alliance have two Demon Hunter races and Horde only have one? Well, Horde have the one race that's the most popular race in World of Warcraft. So I don't really think it's a big deal. Blood Elves are by far the most popular race in the game. So yeah, I think you guys are good. What are you going to play, a Nightborn Demon Hunter? Come on, be honest. Are you? You're not. You're not going to. So Void Elf Demon Hunters do need to be unlocked, though. So you won't be able to just make one right off the bat. You have to go do a couple of quest lines. So the first one is you must complete the In Search of Darkness storyline, which starts with a common cause for Magister Umbric in Koresh. This was already available, so you might have done it during Koresh if you did all the side quests. He's out there and he wants you to help him with his assistant or whatever. And then after the pre-patch goes live, which is now, you need to complete the Rage of the Randorai storyline, starting with the Pursuit Continues for Magister Umbric in Dornogal. And I guess after Midnight launches, he will move to Silvermoon, but right now he's in Dornogal. And you can do it on any level 80 character. It doesn't need to be on a Void Elf, doesn't need to be on a Demon Hunter. You can do it on anyone. You just need to do both quest lines, and then you'll be able to unlock the Void Elf Demon Hunter. So there you go. I'll do one. I'm gonna make one. That's a perfect way to get a Devourer Demon Hunter for me, is that I'll just make a Void Elf. So yeah, I've got two Demon Hunters right now that are level 80, and yeah, I don't really care. I played my Havoc Demon Hunter in season 2 of the War Within, the Undermine season, and that was a little tough. I struggled with that. I mean, I was doing okay, but I quickly got outpaced by everyone else because they were all running plus 10 keystones, and I was not. I was doing 2s and 4s. So yeah, that didn't work out so well for me. They were happy to have me continue, but I wasn't having fun raiding in that way. That's not how I want to play the game. If I want to get carried, that's what I want that to be agreed upon up front. I don't want them to be like, well, you're bad, but you're cool, so we'll just carry you. No, I don't want that. I'm not interested in that. So, but yeah, Void Elf Demon Hunters are now available in the pre-patch. Woo! You just have to do a bunch of quests. Right. Other things coming in this pre-patch. We have the stat squish. So we've done stat squishes before. I think we did one after Legion. We might have done one in Warlords of Draenor. I don't remember. What happens is, as I'm sure you've seen, the item levels of your gear get so high, so fast. We were at danger of getting into the thousands of item level if we didn't do a squish. If we had just continued on with the item levels as the way they were, we easily would have gotten into 1,000 item levels, which is a little ridiculous. So Blizzard, every couple of expansions, does a squish where they take all the numbers and they mush them down into lower numbers. And that way we're not seeing damage of 50 million per hit, which is what we were getting in Legion. And it was a little ridiculous. So yeah, so my Death Knight is item level 704 on the War Within. So he's basically hero 4 of 8 is roughly where his item level lies. On the beta, I transferred him over just to verify, and he's item level 144. So that's how the squish is going to work. On the War Within, he had 20,627,000 health. On Midnight, he has 175,000 health, which is cool. Because anytime you get into the millions of health, I start to get frustrated. So, yeah, there you go. That's the stat squish. We do not have an item or a level squish. My guess is that we're going to get a level squish after the last Titan, but we don't know that for sure. So, yeah, stat squish. One of the side effects of a stat squish is that they have to rebalance everything and basically scale the entire game at once, and it doesn't work that way because anything that's old content does not get scaled properly. Like, guarantee you it's not going to scale properly. We're going to have a hard time running old raids probably for the entirety of the pre-patch. So if you have some old raids you want to go run, this may not be the time for it. You could probably go run like Ice Crown and Black Temple and whatever if that's what you're into. You could probably do that older stuff, but most, like, if you're trying to run Legion raids, those are probably going to be impossible for the next couple of weeks. But I don't know. I haven't done it yet because the servers aren't up yet. So I'll be curious to try that out and see how it goes. Yeah, so there you go. Stat Squish is now live in the pre-patch. Also coming in the pre-patch, Transmog Changes. So they're changing the Transmog system, which is great. I love the fact that they're putting this much time and energy into something that is obviously important with the player base. So the way it's going to work is right now you just change your transmog and you can save various gear combinations, but you have to apply them each time. And every time you apply them, you're going to pay gold. So what they're doing instead is you unlock outfits. You go in, you create an outfit. Once you've created the outfit, you save it, you pay a gold cost to save the outfit, and then you can apply it anytime you want for free. So, for example, if you have a outfit that's your Mythic Plus outfit, and you have another outfit that's your I'm in my house outfit, and maybe your house outfit is a little more pajama-y, once you have saved those outfits, you can apply them whenever you want for free. You can go back and forth as many times as you want without having a gold cost. But if you decide you want to go in and change your pajama outfit, now you have to pay gold to save that outfit again. And that's the thing. People who want to change your outfit 20 times, you're going to pay a lot more for that. But once you've decided on it and you save it, you're good. The outfit slots themselves are going to be unlocked one at a time. So you get 2 to start off with. The first 2 are free. It's just like drugs. The first 2 are free, man. First 2 are free, and then after that they scale up in price. Like this, the third one is going to be 100 gold, and then the fourth one is 200 gold, and so on. I went through and I calculated out the first 10 slots. If you just want 10, If you're like, look, I'll never need more than 10. And these are, by the way, these are warband account wide. So this unlocks for every single character. So if you have one character who unlocks all the slots, all of your characters can use those slots independently. So it's just unlocking the slots for them. It's not like these are your warband transmog slots. No, each character has as many slots as have been unlocked. So your mage has 10, and then your paladin also has 10, and then your rogue also has 10, and so on. So for the first 10 slots, it's 12,650 gold. If you want to go 15 slots, that's 62,650 gold. 20 slots, you're paying 162,650 gold. 25 slots, 337,650. 30 slots is 512,650. You see how this is going, right? It's just getting more and more. 50 slots, the most you can get is 2,012,650 gold. I do not need 50 slots per character of outfits. 10, maybe 20. I think it's going to be my max. So I'll be ready to spend my 100 and whatever thousand gold. That's fine. But after that, I think I'm done. So yeah, Transmog is going to be really, really good. And you'll actually be able to go in there as an interface where you can specify, here are the events that when they occur, put on this outfit. And it's actually really cool. So enjoy your Transmog, because you're going to be changing outfits all the time. See, I'll just do like 5 different outfits. Oh, this is my Mythic Plus outfit. This is my Delve outfit. This is my Raid outfit. This is my Raid Finder outfit. Blah, 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 blah. This is my, whatever. I'm in the house. I have my pajamas on. Dave from the solo queue suggested I need some sort of construction outfit from when I'm working on my house, which I think is a great idea. Thanks, Dave. Yeah, so I don't know. This is really cool. The Transmog is exciting, and I hope Blizzard doesn't have some secret gotcha in there that nobody noticed and we're all pissed, because that would just be so frustrating. So anyway, yeah, there we go. Housing. So a couple of things are changing for housing. First of all, we're going to get charter neighborhoods, which is cool. We hadn't had those before. So you could do a guild neighborhood, but not a charter neighborhood. So now you'll be able to make a charter neighborhood with your friends without having to be all in the same guild. So that'll be really cool. We will also get access to neighborhood endeavors, which is something that I thought we weren't getting until launch of Midnight. So we're getting endeavors. Endeavors are it's a neighborhood event where you can complete tasks. And a lot of the tasks you need to complete is like do delves, do dungeons, do whatever, do world quests. If you complete those tasks, you'll get credit for your endeavors. And the more endeavors you complete, the higher you're going to score as a neighborhood. And then once you reach a certain point, you unlock different vendors that have different goods that you can purchase for decor items. And the more work you do towards endeavors, the more neighborhood rep you're going to get, which is going to help you level up your house. It's basically how housing works as a system. It's not just decorate. There's an actual gameplay component to it. So they wanted to put friction into the system, and this is how they're doing it with endeavors. So yeah, I thought we weren't getting this until Midnight launch. So I was ready for my house to be stuck at level 4 until March. But no, we'll be able to actually level up our houses. Now, we can go up to level 9. It's going to be the new cap. Right now it's 5. We'll be able to go all the way up to 9, which is great. Your medium-sized exterior launches at level 8. So just keep that in mind if you're looking how to square this out. And one thing that is on the PTR right now that I believe we are getting with pre-patch launch is it'll actually show the border of your yard. Because right now when you're building, you're like, I don't know where the boundary of my house or where my property is and where the field behind my house starts and where my house ends. You'll be able to see it. It'll be a little line when you're in edit mode outside of your house. So it'll be really clear. You can still place stuff a little bit over that line if you're careful, as long as most of it is on the inside of the line. But yeah, that's what's coming for player housing. And finally, the Twilight Ascension pre-patch event will start on January 27th. So it's next Tuesday. We will get the pre-patch event. That's where you're going to be able to get all the transmog and the gear and all of the stuff. And basically, you're going to go around the cities and fight cultists. And then we have to go to Twilight Highlands and fight more cultists. And then Xalatath is behind everything. So whatever. That's it. That's the whole thing. there's a lot of little changes that are going in through hot fixes and whatnot, but these are the big changes. And like I said, I didn't want to go through all of the class changes because there's just so many, and I didn't have that in me. So that's what's coming in the pre-patch. So I'm really excited. I hope the servers are up soon because I really want to get in there and play. But as of right now, last time I checked, they are not. So anyway. All right, that's going to wrap up our show for today. Thank you so much for listening and for watching. I really do appreciate it. It is always a pleasure and a privilege for me to get on this microphone and speak to you. I really enjoyed doing the solo queue with Dave Gagne, so I do want to get him back on this show. But yeah, please go check out and support his podcast as well. He's a great guy and a great podcast host. So please go check out Solo Queue. Right. If you are enjoying Azeroth United and you would like to help us out, you could consider, there's a few things you could do. You could consider supporting our Patreon. Patreon is where people can give their IRL money to support the podcast. It helps out with things like purchasing equipment, some of the subscription fees, little things like that. I'm not trying to make money off of people. I'm not trying to, this isn't my racket. But if you want to help out, great. But Azeroth United will always be free, so keep that in mind. I'm just asking if people want to donate. Some people do, and that's fine. And so I'm giving you a means to do that, but you don't have to. You can just enjoy the show, and I'm happy with that. So, yeah, we have a few different tiers of patrons. It's like $1 for the standard patron, $3 for the friend of the show patrons, and then we have a free tier as well. I do want to thank our friend of the show patrons right now because that's part of the deal. You get a little call out at the end of the show if you join the friend of the show tier of Patreon. So that's Judge Omni, Stug Life, Thelial, Greybeard, Raven, and Macus. Thank you all so much. You definitely help make Azeroth United possible. And thank you to all of our Patreons. It really means a lot to me. Other things you could do to help out with the show. You could leave a rating and a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Those really help out. 5-star would be great. I'm not telling you to do 5-star, but it would be great. But if you vote with your heart, if you leave a rating or if you leave a review or a comment on Spotify, I will read that on the air. I do enjoy getting some of those comments. Some of them are fun. Some of them are not fun. But for the most part, people are nice and people are friendly. So if you want to leave a comment, that would be great. But the rating is really, that really helps drive out the distribution and help get the podcast out there and noticed by more people. So if you're able to do that, I'd really appreciate it. And if you're listening or watching on YouTube, you could help us out by giving us a like and a comment and a subscribe. Those all help us out with the ever fickle YouTube algorithm. It's a cruel mistress, that damn YouTube. But yeah, there you go. And I think Azeroth United is like on TikTok and in Instagram. I never post on any of those, so don't really, you can follow me on there, but I'm not really doing anything on there. But I am on Twitter and Blue Sky. So I have a Twitter account for the podcast, which is at AZU Podcast on Twitter. And then I also have my personal Twitter account, which is at Denethar on Twitter and Blue Sky. So you can check me out on all of those. Check out the show. Check out my Twitter. I mostly just talk about World of Warcraft on there, but I occasionally talk about some other stuff. So if you want to check that out, that would be cool. Or you don't have to. Either way, it's fine. And finally, if you want to, you could join the Azeroth United Discord. You go to AzerothUnitedPod.com and you'll have the link to the Discord and all the other things on there as well, in addition to the archive of the show and a little bit more information on there. So check out our website, AzerothUnitedPod.com, get on the Discord and join in the conversation there. And that's it. I think that's it. I think I covered everything. So if I missed something, I apologize, but we'll get to it next week. So, all right, that's it. Thank you again so much for listening. It means so much to me. And remember to be good to each other out there. That's a real life person on the other side of that keyboard. And maybe they enjoy playing the game solo. Maybe they just want to be with their friends. I don't know. Maybe you enjoy playing solo and you want to play with your friends. That's okay too. I'm not going to judge, but we can all just smile and nod and know that we're all in this great big world together, and it doesn't take a whole lot of work to be kind to someone. All right, take care. I love you all, and I'll see you in Azeroth.